Welcome back to House TV Live. I'm Rick Spence, and with me today is Michael and Danielle with Clark and Eldine Design Build in Plymouth, Michigan, doing amazing stuff. And they're going to share with us their home. So thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you for having us. Happy to be here.
So tell me about the home. How big is the home? And give me a feel for the home.
It is 1,800 square feet. It's a traditional 1950s bungalow. It's a charming house that's perfect size for us. The bones were great. It just needed to be updated and modernized.
Little love. So what are the main things you wanted to achieve with the new space?
Well, I think that the ultimate goal for us was to create a space that provoked conversation in our family and became an entertainment area. And so knowing that that was how we were going to design the space, that was at the heart of everything that we were going to do.
We just didn't want the kitchen to be so like boxy and closed off. We wanted to keep adding more depth, more natural light.
So the first part was figuring out, could we put an island in the space? Did we have enough room on all sides so that it didn't feel cramped in the living space? It didn't feel cramped in the kitchen cooking area, and it still allowed you ample amount of room in the dining room area.
So structurally, did you have to do anything? Did you have any beam reinforcement you needed to do?
Yeah, we took out a load-bearing wall and had to add a 22-foot beam in between both the kitchen and the living space. So you'll see that there's a beam in there. I mean, it's painted the same color as the wall, so it really kind of blends in. But we did have to add a beam in.
Let's talk about your materials, some of your choices, and go into the kitchen a little bit for me.
As far as countertops go, we went with entirely quartz, purely because we have two young children and we needed something that was very durable. I wanted that island to be light, bright, and airy and kind of have that marble look, but marble with young children, or just myself, is not a great choice. It's such a porous stone. In the back or the perimeter, we went with a darker quartz that is textured. We went darker back there because it was already having this very built-in feel to the back of the kitchen, and knowing that that was what you're going to see when you walked in the front door, and that's what you were seeing when you were sitting in the living room. I wanted to kind of break up that all whiteness that you were going to be seeing there and have a heavy contrast.
You did a really cool little wood treatment on the side of the island there.
It's an idea Danielle came up with when we were doing our living room, our initial living room remodel. So we have about 120-inch wide bay window in the living room, and it was just white, and it just looked like, kind of builder grade, and we wanted to spruce it up a bit. So she came up with this concept to take oak slats, rip them down to 1x, and basically come up with a slat design where it was like 1x space, 1x space, 1x space. And we wanted to, again, tie the spaces together to be a cohesive open concept room. So we took that same treatment and put it on the outside of each end of our island.
Initially, we thought we were going to slat the whole front of the island. And then once we got moving on the project, that was a change order that we decided we did not need to do. No. It didn't need that much wood.
It would have been too much.
You have the best change order. You just turn to your husband, right, and go, I got a change order.
She still has to fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
It was our running joke.
Let's see, what's that that's gonna cost you?
Make me an Americano or a cocktail. Let's go.
Yeah, it's something, right? That's funny. What's the overall square footage of this space?
We're at about 575 between the kitchen, living space, and the dining room. We're at 1,000 throughout the first floor. And that's the other thing in this 8-week period. We touched the entire first floor because we had to do all new flooring, which meant all new base, all new door casing. We ended up adding crown molding throughout our space, so we touched everything on the first floor.
Did you do a brick treatment there?
We wanted to extend the kitchen and give ourselves more counter space and more upper cabinetry space. So we continued on the main wall, the perimeter wall of the kitchen, over the walkway to build the coffee bar, knowing that we were going to have a circular table. And we didn't want chairs just surrounding everywhere. What we did is we built the wall out 16 inches and built a floating bench. And then we laid brick over that wall. So it really has the appearance like it's always been there.
Yeah, our goal was for it to make it feel as though it was an architecture part of the house. And then also to help those two rooms unite together. So by carrying the cabinets across the top of that doorway, I felt like that really united those two spaces. But then having that textured on that wall kind of gave that its own personality. And when we did install the brick, The craziest part was that we painted it after the fact because I knew that we were doing this really bold wallpaper on the back. And so because of that, it was clashing too much, keeping the brick. So we're always experimenting with different removable wallpapers. That one is actually from Temp Paper, and it has this really cool wave look to it. And again, drawing in that natural texture, I was immediately drawn to that. It was like completely different direction than I initially thought it was going.
Has a bit of almost a safari vibe to it. You know, I know, and you have little kids, so it has a little bit of a whimsical, kind of a cool vibe to it.
Yeah.
Well, and there's like the nook back in there, so Michael had built out sconces inside of each of the sides, so our kids like to get in and hide.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. And it's really cool when we're sitting in the living room, we don't want to have all the overhead lights on. We'll dim everything or turn it off, and then that little nook area, it's illuminated on the inside.
And go in there and read a book. That's perfect.
Yeah, well,
or draw.
Size.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could fit in there.
Yeah. Well, you could scrunch up. Yeah, get cozy.
Like stuck.
Let's go into the coffee bar area a little bit more and tell me about the choices there.
So the base is wood and the tabletop is concrete.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 chairs that we put around it for like family dinners, and then the bench area we can comfortably fit probably 3 people when we're entertaining. But the great thing is with the open concept in our island, we have 4 more seats at the island. So if we do have parties, family gatherings, holidays, we can all gather around and do our thing and all be together.
On the perimeter of our cabinets, we went with a darker quartz. And I really felt like the concrete helped tie those two together while still pulling away from the entire whiteness of that back wall.
That's a great space. So tell me more about your living room and the fireplace and some of your choices with furniture, materials in that space.
Well, the fireplace we added last fall, we never had a fireplace before last year. And again, with Michigan winters and in the fall, we really wanted one that's just, that's where we spend all of our time when we were at home with the kids, and a fireplace is necessary. So we put that in. We kind of turned our traditional bungalow to a smart home. So everything is voice activated, even the fireplace. So you could say, hey, whatever, turn on the fireplace. I'm not going to say it because
and the fireplace will be on here.
Yeah, let's try. Let's see if everything goes on. Let's do.
When it came to selecting furniture for that space, the sofa was key for us. We before had a significantly smaller sofa, and I really wanted something that all 4 of us could fit on, at least for the moment, until my children get bigger, and then we probably won't all fit in there. So picking a really long sofa that fit in there, but then I also had to be conscious of, I couldn't go too long because then the rug wouldn't work, because then the rug got too large and it wouldn't be proportional for that room size. We added 2 additional chairs that were just lower profile chairs to accommodate, again, more people so we could gather.
Tell me about your lighting choices.
When we started this project, we had 2 lights in all 3 spaces. So when we designed out, it was key for us to make sure that, especially in a kitchen space, that we weren't going to have those dark spots. I really wanted just like some bold standout features that when you came in the door, they work together, but they both have their own separate identities. The lighting that's over the dining room table, that one was custom made for us. It's from Blueprint Lighting, which is a company based out of New York. It's also a husband and wife team, which is really cool when you can work with other husband and wife teams that are crazy like us. And I just love the milk globe that are on those, plus that matte black just really kind of ties in that space. Versus over the island, we have a more simplistic linear light that has the milk globe lighting as well, and that came in the brass, and that's kind of how we tied those 2 metals together. And you'll see that over and over again, I'm using both the matte black and the brass or gold. Those are my 2 strong metals, and then I just ever so slightly use some chrome pieces throughout the space so that it just, again, had more texture and more ways for your eyes to go.
I think the big thing to take away here is, again, like you said, for us, there is no one style. Like we get asked all the time, like, well, what is your style? You don't have to stay glued to just one thing because that's the thing or that's what you've been told your style is. Bring some other elements in. It can still be fun, it can still be you, and it can be purposeful and functional.
Yeah, I think that ultimately we're always looking to make as any space that we design and we work with as functional, as purposeful as possible, and just really honing in on what clients are loving and making them love their home, because you want to love where you live.
Well, congratulations on this beautiful home. I'm sure you're going to get a lot more clients after people see this. Great work, awesome stuff, and it's great to see the great state of Michigan blessed with your design skills.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having us.
Absolutely. Let's stay in touch, guys, and we'll do something when we can visit you in person, non-COVID days. Do a little feature. Yeah, we'll do a feature story on one of your clients, and we'll have some fun.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
All right. Take care, guys.
Awesome. Be good.
Okay. See you. Bye-bye.